Oh, I forgot. Over here.
Yep, here we go.
Over here. Here we go.
There we go.
There we go.
I've
All
got
right.
my AI dash.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
She's got a little brain. She's got a little brain.
Yep.
Outside her brain. Hi, everybody.
It's good to carry your brains around externally. Yes. Very handy.
Well, welcome back. It's great to see you. So, today, we have, as I'm stalling because I forgot to share my slides, anything new going on in the world of, okay, so let's do this. Gotta love it when you go live. And it's early here.
It is early.
Yeah. Okay. I can't get it to work. So let's see here. Media assets. Today, I'm gonna put we're going to be talking about Firebase Studio. Esra's going to be doing that, and Jen's going to be talking about his MCP Dart package. And I hear there's some Roo Code updates, Randall. Yeah. So for some reason, my slides aren't presenting like I want them to.
It's wonderful having technical issues when you're live.
Yeah, I know. We did this 2 weeks ago when we were here. We we went live, but we didn't go live. So let's see.
This proves that almost anybody can have a live stream if they want.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Takes almost no talent.
Yeah. So let's talk about the do's and don'ts. I don't have.
You have the do's and don'ts.
I do. And I can't get the slideshow to just be. Here we go. Got it. It was sharing my whole everything, and I didn't want that. So hold on. Let's see. Share screen. Technical. Okay. Now I got it here.
Hey.
Yay. Okay. Some do's and don'ts. Randall, take it away.
Oh, you want me to do that? All right.
Yes, sure. Because you do it on Hump Day Q&A, so I'm just going to have you go ahead and do it here.
Only because Scott's not there. If Scott's there,
that's true. Oh, that's true.
Yeah, but I'll do it. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
So very important. Be nice. Be respectful. You're not talking to bots in the chat room. You're talking to live human beings. For the most part, we can't prove it for me, but we can prove it for everybody else that those are human beings on the other end. Don't post anything that's adult or rude or offensive. Don't advertise or promote anything. The only people allowed to promote things are people with their face on the screen. And if your face isn't on the screen, you don't get to do that. Don't spam. Don't post the same thing again and again. It's not only annoying, but if you're asking a question, then you ask the same question 20 minutes later, you just lost your place in line by 20 minutes. So don't do that. And again, harassment of any kind, we do have ban hammers. We will not tolerate that here. but do have a good time, because that's like us. We are having a good time doing this week after week to bring you the latest information in the world of Flutter and AI.
And if you are going to ask a question, make sure you put a Q in front of it.
Yep.
It makes it so
So
we
that
can find it. So definitely want to have that.
Yep.
And
Typically flagging those. Yes.
Yes, makes it so much easier. And let's see. Okay, come back over here. If you're going to share code or something that you want us to look at, don't post the full URL. You won't be able to do it. So go to gist.new and create, add your title, your file name, put your code in there, and just share the part after your name. And you can see the part that's highlighted in the square at the bottom. Just share that part. So then, you could say, sharing code, here's this.
There's a step 1B there. There's a step 1B that's log into GitHub if you aren't already logged in.
Oh, right.
We need to add that to that list. Yes.
We need to add that to that. Yep. Okay. We'll do that. Then, yes. So.
Who are we? Who are we?
Who are we, Esra?
Totally fine. Hi, everyone. I'm Esra. I'm from Berlin, and I am also co-leading Flutteristas, Flutter Berlin, FCAIC, as you all know here. And actually go for my own introduction, but probably, okay, I will just skip back to the AI Circle, because probably we have the members next. So in Flutter Community AI Circle, we started as a community initiative to explore what's going on in AI world and what's going on in Flutter together, because everything is just like moving super fast, and we just want to stay up to date with the latest integrations, things we can do, give the earliest feedbacks, and adapt as soon as possible. So now we are doing live research together, some demos. Literally, we are building in live, failing in live, fixing in live. So it's quite exploration from our side too.
Awesome. And I think I did skip over the who we are. Oh, excuse me. We'll do this one. Who can join our FCAIC? Anybody. Anybody who's interested in Flutter and AI, you are welcome here. You don't have to know anything about AI to join, because you're here to follow the journey and you're here to learn. You can be an expert at whatever the current state is, or using it all the time. So anybody who's interested, whether, like I said, a beginner, we have a whole variety of diverse perspectives, as in Steph's by no means an expert. I use it occasionally, but the other three use it quite a lot. And so it's okay to not know much and to join our community. And then we have these surveys that we'd like you to fill out if you haven't already done it. If you have, we have the information. We're compiling things. So first, if you're interested in being in the community, please fill out. We want everybody to fill out the community survey side. And so you can scan that QR code. If you have created anything with AI, or you want to share that, what we're working on, we have it. We've got our website. It's done. We'll share it here in just a bit. And we'll have a section. We want to have a one-stop shop place for people within the Flutter community who are interested in AI. So we'll have a section on the website, not there yet, but the website's up. And so please fill out the contributor survey so we can make sure to include your information. And we also have, it's great. So the Flutter forum on It's All Widgets has an AI Circle category, subcategory, and then there's a chat. And clearly Steph didn't update the slides because our website is up and going. So we'll show that we've also got some vibe coding with Norbert and friends. There's a playlist here on the Flutter Community YouTube channel. We have our FCAIC playlist as well. And then Jen has spoken on Hump Day Q&A. And so that's definitely ones that you want to see. So they're here on the Flutter Community YouTube. And okay, so now we can go to, so if you go to ai.fluttercommunity.dev, you will find our website. And it's going to be evolving as we get additional information. There's also the link to our YouTube, our GitHub, the forum across the top. On the first page, you'll see that there's some highlights, some various things where we've got the surveys, got some frequently asked questions here. And then there's some resources. If we come back up here and look at starters. So if you're new with this, there are some key concepts, introductions, and things like that that you can click on these and go see. There's official docs and with tools and things like that to explore. So you can scroll through here. I see this and as an evolving site as we're getting more information from people in the community. Like I said earlier, we want to have a place that's a one-stop shop. So, because the internet, it's huge. There's so much out there, and it's just like, okay, where do you go for this? Where do you go for that? But by having it here and being able to know, oh, okay, I go to the Flutter Community website, ai.fluttercommunity.dev. For builders, we have another section here. This is talking about our community, the mission. Oops, scrolled too fast, sorry. What we do, some YouTube content, Builder's Toolkit, helping shape our society if you want to contribute. So website's there, and I will make sure to share it in the comments. So please be sure to go and check it out. Not right now, do it later, but yeah, right. It's available now. Yes. And sorry, Jen, I had to cover your face there for a sec. And when we were going through the slides, I kind of messed up and didn't get our intros in there. So I will bring those up. And clearly not going to be a slideshow. I'm Steph. I'm the team lead, and I am also administa, one of the co-leaders, co-managers for the Flutteristas, along with Esra. Then, of course, we have the Flutter community who's doing awesome, and I hosting our sites plus the website. Then we have Chatai and Chatai. And then Jen, you want to say a little bit about yourself?
Yep. So yeah, I'm Jhin. I am Flutter GDE. I've been here for, I don't know, last few months already. I'll say this 25th episode, right? So yeah, so I've been having fun with AI. I've been also kind of newbie before, and then using this, leveraging this opportunity to learn myself for AI stuff as well. So yeah, that's
which is really awesome to be a newbie. You've got your own package that you're going to be talking about today. So I'm in awe. Awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Norbert, who also does some live streaming vibe coding here. Randal, you want to talk about you or introduce you?
No, never. I don't ever want to talk about myself again. No, I'm Randal. I'm 45-year career veteran in software, but for the last 7 years, I've been heads down on Flutter, and I'm a Flutter Google developer expert, similar to Jhin. I don't know, both in the same category. I don't know if that means the same, similar. Anyway, and I also help host the Wednesday Hump Day Q&A. Some of you may know about if you're participating in that. And on this show, I am often the question magician, which means that I'm watching for the Q colon to show up in the chat. And I'm also a speaker apparently today because I'm going to be talking about Roo Code a little bit later.
Awesome. And then Simon, who can't join us today. So we're thinking of you, Simon, if you're out there listening to us, or if you come back to see it, we miss you. And that is all we have on that. So I'm going to stop sharing. And first up, we have for our topics today is, I believe it was Esra. Yes, you're exploring Firebase Studio. I wore this just for you today.
Thank you.
And
I actually just forgot it. I just must, oh my God, I forgot my
I know
finger.
what's funny is I wore this. Oops. I wore this 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I have washed it. So if you're concerned, but yes, I wore it and I wanted to make sure because we were doing it to support you. And I am going to turn it over to you now and let you talk about or explore Firebase and doing Firebase Studio and doing AI development.
Thank you. And feel free to stay in the screen if you like. We will kind of go over it together. And let me just share my screen. So now I will be sharing my entire screen out here. And I'm pulling it up to the stage. So we will actually go side by side from the docs, and we will follow it to create our app in using Firebase Studio. I already created a test, but we will just do it again to see together. So in Firebase Studio, of course, it's an agentic cloud-based development environment. You will see that it already has entire project IDX in there. And we also have Gemini in Firebase. We also have Gemini there. Maybe we can even directly start. So I will go for start coding an app. Or should we go for prototyping? Which one would you like to go for first? Maybe a coding?
Prototype doesn't support Flutter yet.
So I will go for a little bit coding part directly because we have this one ready in hand. So my Flutter app, it will be FCAIC June 23 live. So I'm calling create. While it's creating, we can also see a little bit of key capabilities. You can also import your projects from your source control. You can also get your local archive, Figma design. There, generating code from the Figma design and import it with Builder.io. Of course, Gemini and Firebase is there. Again, mentioning about those. Let's see. Meantime, it's set up the workspace, initialize the environment, and now we have the code editor here in. And we also have, as you see, Android. So we are installing Dart extension. Now it is also installed, enabled, and it's here in extensions under Marketplace again. It's just mentioning about okay, we are using Google Analytics. Of course, this is fine. This is also fine for us. So let's see. This is, again, our very first lovely counter app, as you can see. So let's run it and see it in Android. It's saying starting preview, but today actually it's run when I said, okay, let's run it in debug. So we already have Firebase emulators here, so you can actually run it in Android and web. Meantime, main Dart in web server. Let me just stop it. I want to go for, oh, okay, we have this one. All right, that's fine. I'm just running it again. So we actually go for starting with template here if you want to see where we are in the doc. And under mobile templates, we have Flutter version. So we actually go from this one here. And And as you see, we also have Gemini here. It's directly linked to my account. So it goes for, hello, Esra, how can I help you? That we will also try some prompting here. So let's see. We have a little information. Please click the Dart Debug extension button in the spawn browser window. Do I have anything here? No. When I have, there we go. Okay, we can see it in the web console. And as you can see, this is our lovely counter app. So here, what if we go for an Gemini prompting? Steph, would you like to suggest us something, or Randall maybe?
Let's add a
Gemini done
decrement
something.
button. Add a decrement button. That's always my favorite.
Oh, I am missing what you said. Adding?
Add a decrement button, so you plus.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's a good challenge. It explains how much it knows about Flutter, because there's trickiness to having the floating action button actually be a column. It takes a bit of work.
Oh, please specify which file you would like me to add the increment button to. So I'm gonna mark a main Dart. Oops, I couldn't actually drag and drop.
Yeah, I think you need to do.
Yeah, okay, this is going for that side. So
Just add.
Definitely, I will go for that. So here we go. File from workspace. Then main.dart.
Cool, it's intuitive to use. Totally intuitive.
Please add decrement button with expected. Yeah. Okay. I will not say make it work. Like, I think it should just like be able to add the logic, I guess, without me saying.
If you don't say make it work, it won't make it work. No, I'm just kidding.
I expected to. Hope so. Let's go and review changes.
Please correctly add a decrement button.
Let's see. Yeah, I was like, should I go?
Do not hallucinate. Do not hallucinate while making a decrement button.
We get a decrement counter.
Is not good.
Yeah.
A little bit. And here it make a row, and then a decrement counter with the size box 10. Okay, let's update the file. And now we are going back to web. And what if I click command S? There we go. We also have hot reload.
Oh,
and we got the decrement button as well. So as you can see, by the way, I'm still in Firebase Studio. It's also like hot reload here. Let's go 1, 2, 3. And there we go.
Whoa! It did it in one
minus.
Yeah, exactly. We have this part here. Yeah, and it also goes minus.
Good. Ship it. It's done. Ship it.
Maybe you can prompt to the Gemini saying that there's a limit. Okay, you can go from -10 to plus 10. I'm curious how it reacts for the beans logic. Right.
Or should never go negative is probably a good.
Make it never go to negative and never go above 10. So it's best of both. So you can just count till 10.
Yes. Oh.
It has a built-in Gemini model, but we already know that this Gemini model is 2.5 Pro. Okay, thanks to IO Connect updates.
Maybe try again.
We got an internal error. Let's see. I'm regenerating.
If it's an internal
Ezra, can you
error,
make your sorry, Ezra, can you make your font bigger?
Like this here?
Not the side, but so it's easier to read on the screen.
Which font? This one is only I can go like this.
Yeah, that helps.
Or like that? Should I go larger? Maybe I could switch.
That's better. If you can do it one more time.
Sure. Oh my god. Okay. This is
I know it's gonna be huge for you. Yeah. It just makes it
Good.
easier for people streaming. They'll be able to see it.
Yeah,
And if that's
we
too
are
small, you can make it smaller.
we are seeing internal error bigger now and better. Let's see. Did I hit a limit or
We're
something?
sitting really close to the crash.
I think it's really the
Exactly.
server issue. Or a demo.
Mm.
issue.
Okay, I
broke
can
it.
also pick.
was bad.
We all know that 2.5 Flash is the version that we can definitely use. Oh, okay.
But
I
you need to
need.
add the key.
Okay, we are not doing it live for sure.
What, you don't want to share
Want
it?
people to see your key?
Yeah, maybe just
Make it-
2.0 Flash again.
They were saying you need all API.
Everything needs
Only
to
big
be.
model.
Okay. Okay, I'm just like stop sharing for some seconds.
You could just make a brand new key that doesn't have any billing associated with it and use that and throw it away after the show.
Yeah, sure.
It's one way to handle this. I'm not suggesting that way at all. I wouldn't. be
I'm
doing
not
that.
creating one.
I think I did it last time when I did the demo of Firebase Studio with the prototype. Actually, I create the key, and then the key was exposed, and then I had to. I had to spend so much time to find where the key is generated. Actually, it was in the GCP. It was not in the AI Studio.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I'm just like trying
Yeah.
one.
And I couldn't find it even in the Firebase console, so I had to go all finding everywhere. Yeah, eventually it was in GCP.
Now I'm trying. Yep, now it is happening and I'm presenting meantime. I'm just like closing this. So share screen, entire screen, and there we go. So
In case you're playing along at home and you want to make an AI key, it's go to ai.dev, and then in the upper right corner is manage Gemini keys.
I actually just directly follow the pop-ups, and pop-ups will also like go there. So I just use 2.5 Flash, which is the latest announced version. It also, as I remember, has no thinking. It is one of the fastest ones that can do your job. So we said, make it never go to negative and never go above 10. So it did some changes. So we're going to review the changes. So we have, if counter is smaller than 10, okay, increase that. And decrement counter is also just there. And that's it. We also have, okay, a little bit formatting change. So let's update.
I'd say that was good. Ship it.
Ship it. Then you just like
test it.
get a hot reload. So now, okay, I'm increasing it. There we go. I mean, we can totally know that from the code that would work anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good to see it work. It's good to see a live demo actually work.
Yeah. Definitely. So okay, now we also got what we want actually.
Yeah, now publish it to Flutter Web. You can do that with Firebase, right?
Yes. So we actually have preview this part. We can maybe check. Should we go from that side? Maybe I would like to go around a little bit in the documentation, and maybe later on we can have a session that we are adding Gemini parts in there. What we can do with the chat with Gemini and Firebase, and actually we have. Let me see where it is. Yeah, we will also. We can also check the app prototyping later on, not directly for Flutter part, but we can also see what Firebase Studio is doing. So what we did, let's go. Should we try this part? Was it your suggestion, Randall?
No, it's going to lead you down a rabbit hole. Don't worry about it. I was saying maybe for a future show though, it'd be nice.
Oh yeah,
for us to create Flutter, publish it, and immediately people at home can go to the website and hit it. That would be cool.
Oh, we actually have a quite good question that we can actually directly try. Exactly.
Generate a widget test. Oh yeah. Great
Very
idea.
good. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's create a widget test and increment.
Best question so far. that back out of the way. We know
See whether it works as expected. It's got, I think, 2.5 Flash. Do a good job with that already.
Flash works without thinking because it just uses pure instinct.
Okay, we have an internal error. Maybe let's go for Pro. let's get a little bit help. So what if I just try this one? Okay, you exceeded my current quota.
Oh no!
I can try another one. Let's check.
Where I have my paid key, I immediately switch to when I'm running out of them. I use all the free ones at first, and then I go to paid.
Just a second. This will take a while. I'm just logging into other one, and I will get an API key from there. This should be.
Weird. I mean, why the quota is already?
I mean, I just prompted 2-3 things before. I think only.
Wow.
But let's see.
It was Gemini 2.5 Flash, so it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is the Flash? That doesn't seem. I could see the Pro, but not the Flash.
Yeah.
It's tired. It's Monday morning. It just doesn't want to give you all the possible round trips that you're supposed to get right now.
Oh, okay. I'm generating the key now. Let's see. I'm in AIstudio.com. So let's see.
When a server's too busy, it throws those errors. That's probably true.
So are people following along and bogging the server down?
Yeah, right. There we go. Oh yeah, everybody's hitting it once.
There we go. Now I updated my Gemini API key. Now I'm trying this again. Oops, it's still saying exceeded your current quota. I think it's a show for today. We need to figure it out a little later. I mean, to be honest, we already like 20 minutes in that we had the intro and so on. I would like to see how can we go further. I actually want to see, okay, we got this part. What happens when I also get the Vertex AI and I also do generate some stuff? Can I just do an app that gets a motivational quote for us and then generates an image for that by using literally no desktop apps? So I want to just build it with the Chrome browser right now with Firebase Studio without touching any of the code editors. Let's see whether we're gonna have it out with a web app. Probably would be the easiest, but let's see. This would be probably something I can check further. All right. So that's it actually for Firebase Studio today. Because to be honest, yeah, I got a little bit rate limit issue and I generated from other accounts, which also had an issue.
So I'm wondering, yeah, it just seems, especially with the Flash, there's got to be something going on with the server. Now, I do have a question. Can you open one of your other IDEs?
Sure.
And try and do the same thing and see if you get the same error, so we can see, is the error because the server's busy, or is it because there's, with Firebase Studio, if there's some kind of lag with that, if that's what's causing it. I'm just curious.
Okay, so I can actually check that one, but let me just open a new
since it's you doing it as opposed to having somebody else do it. I'm curious. Use the same API keys that you have, but try it in VS Code.
Yeah, just try on the AI Studio would be actually good enough. If AI Studio is throwing the error, then it's going to be actually really the server side on the end.
So I'm actually directly going for AI Studio. And if we just, do you mean like I'm just directly prompting something here?
Yeah.
Let's go for here. Yeah. Can I directly can you create a counter Flutter app for me directly here?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, see, let's go directly. I'm not picking anything. I have 2.5 Pro. And I have someone saying the server was very busy today. I had the same issues earlier. I might be like and definitely prioritize access here because I'm using directly here. It's totally different when you use API key and use here. There we go.
So
Let's
it wasn't
take
your
care of that.
API key. The error message is coming back from Firebase Studio is what this is telling me. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, but I don't think we are checking the correct thing because when you actually use it from here, this is not going over your API key. This is free use.
Oh,
So
okay.
and that two request is different. So technically, this doesn't prove anything about whether the service
Oh,
is
that's
using.
okay. And that's why I was suggesting doing it from VS Code so you could see, was it your API key or was it?
I'm just using just one random thing.
But yeah, so we've got somebody who said that the server was very busy and they had the same issues earlier. So having our live stream first thing.
Oh yeah, no, I just tried in a personal project, and it's about me. It's a user API key rate limit exceeded. Gemini currently has low rate limits for user API keys for 2.5 Pro model. Consider not using an API key for this model. Let me directly present that. Okay, so this is definitely about me exceeding the limits.
Even with Flash?
I think it's about maybe I got something specific. Oh, there we go. It's just 2.5 Pro model.
Okay. Because Flash was giving you the same error.
I have just 2.5 Flash. Do we have? Yeah, but I think it's clearly see 2.5 fresh preview. I think that would just work. I'm just asking super simple. Like, where is the colors? There we go. So Flash works. I also expect Flash to work, to be honest.
But you tried Flash when you were in Firebase Studio and you were getting the same error. So that I was just checking because Flash surprised me. You were doing hardly anything in there and you've got a much higher token count there.
It specifically mentions for 2.5 Pro also in the error we are seeing that. Yeah, there we go. Just here.
Yeah.
So it's the day for the Firebase Studio part since it's also using 2.5 Pro. There we go. Thank you all. It's actually a good timing. So I use like 30, 35 minutes. We also have 2 more sessions to go for. It's a good timing though.
So we had a comment that somebody did try doing the golden test and it worked. We'll have to try that later, maybe in one of the other 2 presentations, we can see it. Okay, thank you, Esra. Next, we have Jen going to talk about his MCP Dart package.
Yeah, for the MCP now. So how we do this?
Yes.
So I don't think I have anything present today, but I think we can just talk about it. So maybe we can start by what is MCP. So, I mean, I don't know. We already talked about it during the hump day a few weeks ago, but maybe you can do it again.
But then we have it here. Yeah, we have it here. And
different audience.
So
people here are really interested in the AI side. So I'm totally okay with talking about it again.
Yeah. So basically what I did, I created MCP Dart package. And this is actually the package for building MCP servers or client using your favorite, our favorite language, Dart. So you can create your Flutter app that integrate with MCP servers, or you can create MCP servers that can be used in the AI application. So that's the package. So why I did this? So basically, I just wanted to create one MCP server, and MCP server SDK was not available in Dart language. So yeah, that was basically my motivation. I just wanted to create financial app using. So what I wanted to do, I want to put some financial data, and then I want to analyze the stock price and the company information, and then so that I can use it for my stock investment, basically. That was the MCP server that I wanted to build, but it was not exist. So yeah, that was the motivation why I started to build this MCP SDK. And yeah, so probably people don't know what is MCP here, right? So MCP is Model Context Protocol, which is introduced by Anthropic. It was like 2024 November, something like that. So it's been already only like 7 or 8 months, something like that. But there's a bunch of MCP servers are already available, and everyone, the AI enthusiasts, they are all talking about MCP. That's actually crazy, in my opinion. I was just lucky that I create this package so early than other people. That's why, I mean, people start to use my MCP, the Dart package. That's a great thing. So what it does is that, let's say, we ask to the AI to read some file in my local system. What they do, they're gonna just answer that we cannot do that. It's AI is meant to be just answering your question, right? It's not meant to be doing something. So when you ask to the AI that what I did yesterday, AI doesn't know. Even you discuss about it with AI doesn't know because AI doesn't remember anything. AI, we say that AI is smart, AI is intelligent or something. Technically, AI is dumb for that. Right? So if you ask something AI doesn't know, then, I mean, AI doesn't know means that at the training time, it was not the data at the time of training to make this AI running. Then if you ask question AI doesn't know, AI will say something stupid. Something doesn't make sense, or just hallucinate or something, right? Just bullshitting at the end, right? So MCP came in for that. So what it does, we can use the MCP server, MCP protocol. We can provide more context to the AI. So let's say I can give my files in my local machine. So I have the document on my local machine, and I want my AI to read it and understand. And then even AI didn't know about it, I want AI to answer my question based on this document. Or I want AI to write some code. Then I want to give the power that AI can do some actions, writing file or sending some the information to API server or communicating with API server. Or some good example is like Figma MCP. So you have your design on the Figma, and then how you're going to give this design to the AI. You're going to make a screenshot and then manually giving to the AI page by page, or just using the MCP. You can just connect with the AI and then the AI editor, for example. Then you can just communicate with your AI so that let AI to write your application. So that's basically the MCP. And there's tons of MCP servers are already available. So actually, we can already use it if you already have favorite your IDE, AI IDE, like the Cursor, Zed, or Roo Code, the extension in VS Code, or Copilot now support MCP as well. So most of the AI-enabled editors, they all support MCP. So you can already use it, but it's not always the case. Sometimes you actually want to use, you might have some idea to create, you need something, but it's still not exist on the public. Then probably you want to write your own MCP servers, right? Then if that's the case, then you can just use the Dart language, since we all know Dart, right? So we can just simply write Dart code to create MCP server so that you can connect to any of your AI-enabled editor or any of AI tools, like the Claude Desktop is not even AI editor, but many people is using it, right? So you can do that. Or let's say you have the Flutter application integrated with AI. So let's say your Flutter app have AI power, but you want to extend the feature without coding yourself. What you're going to do, just using the MCP Dart package, enabled MCP client in your application, then it just open up to any MCP servers out there. So you can easily create your, the AI tools with this package. So I think that's about it.
Mhm.
But
Can you actually walk us through by going over in the PubDev with some maybe linking, highlighting like some key capabilities that it has, how it
Yeah,
goes through that clients?
that's good.
For
Sure,
example,
sure.
maybe one of the examples that you have in GitHub?
Yeah.
The other
Maybe I
thing
can
is,
just open up.
Jen is also presenting on this topic at FlutterCon. So if you're going to FlutterCon, be sure to catch his presentation. I'm excited to see it again. We did a walkthrough and it was awesome.
Yeah.
So,
I just
okay.
shared the screen, so maybe you can put on the
Yeah.
stage. So
Amazing.
yeah, this is the package. Basically,
Can you
you
zoom
go
in a
to,
little? No.
good enough. Yeah. Go to PubDev, and then you just search MCP. Then you will see the packages. First one is actually empty. It's not the right one. But if you see the second one, that's my package. And there's another one from Google is working on it, Start MCP. So 2 MCP
I also
packages.
shared it
The one.
on I put it as a pop-up and
That's
it's
cool.
in the chat comments too.
Yeah. So this is the package that I'm working on. And it supports many features. So actually, I try to put the features that the protocol support. So it supports most of the features. And yeah, it's based on I mean, I suppose the latest, but actually Anthropic just released new spec in June. So I cannot say it's latest, but I mean, yeah, this close to latest spec that I'm supporting. And of course, it supports also, the older version. And this is the simple example to create the calculator. So calculate MCP. So what you do is just create the MCP server, and you register the tools into the server. So the name is calculate, and then description is what it does. Actually, the description is super important because AI will read it, and then AI will automatically find it. The tools will be needed to addressing the user's question. And you also need to put the input schema. So here is the actual the function. So let's say this is actually doing the calculation, right? So it's taking operation and then the argument A and B, and then it does add, subtract, multiply, divide, one of the other action, right? So this is the schema that you can also tell to the AI. So AI will know all this information, meaning that when user asks to the AI, then AI will give back to your AI application or AI agent, whatever we call that. Okay, calculate function is available, and the calculate function is going to take this kind of parameter, this kind of the properties. So operation, it's going to be in string, but it's enum type, so it can be add, subtract, multiply, or divide. And then there's the argument A and B, and then they are numbers. So AI will understand from this information, and your AI application is going to actually call this function throughout the MCP client that is calling the MCP server. So this will be triggered, and then this will return the result. Then your MCP client application is going to how can I say, conclude whatever the information it got from the MCP, and then give back to the user with all the conclusion.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
So right now, what I kind of wondered is, for example, for multiply, it is actually defined in enumeration as multiply. And also in operation, we have a switch function for that. Mm-hmm. Will it be able to understand if I don't say multiply, but I say 2 times 2?
Yes.
And it is not a defined enum, but can it put it to that class like enumeration and then use?
So thanks to the AI, AI will automatically understand it, because this is the input type of this function, right? So the what's calling this function is actually your application. So your application knows that I need to use this parameter, and then the AI will know this. So even you say I say minus, it will automatically understand that it's subtract. When AI give you back the potential, the input parameter.
Actually,
This is
probably
more-
even the bare minimum models are able to understand that. Basically.
Exactly. Exactly.
This is more obvious when you look at the system prompt that gets generated ahead of all of your inputs based on the tools that you've told it about.
Exactly.
It adds extra text to the system prompt to say, and you also have this tool that can do multiply. Here are the parameters. It actually says it in words. And so those words in English are going into the knowledge base, the context. And so it knows multiply is the same as times, which is the same as, product of. It knows that from its general knowledge. And so you're telling it an English word, but it's obviously able to make synonyms from that.
So, for example, then it would also understand 2 dozens and tens and something. Okay, so it actually goes from the general knowledge and terms used around the math. So with everything included, not just limited with the 4 functions that we have. So this question was also actually for the audience that are thinking, does my app need to understand before it? Or will it be the AI handling that part? So you actually don't need to cover all of the cases, as you can see.
Exactly. And the other
one
thing
of the things one of the things I like to do is go on is Roo Code does have a dump the system prompt, and it's really illustrative of all the different things that it aggregated in order to be able to handle. And this text would all be ahead of your text in your very first query. And to look at that and figure out what it's doing with your tool descriptions, what it's doing with all of the accumulated files, because Roo has about 6 different ways of getting prompts sort of automatically in there, mixed in there. And it's great to just say debug by dumping the final system prompt. And it's really, I do that every once in a while to kind of really understand the process of how it's putting everything together.
So what do you mean by dump the prompt?
Oh, I can show it when Jim's done. I'll do it.
You'll show. Okay, perfect. All
right. Yeah. So I think the another thing I thought is that maybe when you put the prompt like this, you can consider this as kind of system prompt for this tool, right? So for this kind of thing, I think maybe we'd better to use English. Usually the AI tools are actually having better result with the English. So even AI may understand your language. Probably it's better to use English for those kind of things, in my opinion. I don't have data on that, so I cannot say. I can strongly say that, but I think that's my impression based on my test. And that's the MCP.
What we can also say is using if it is using from that language directly, so that it is not trying to translate itself, it even saves your tokens all the time. Because to be honest, there is really it uses extra when you say, okay, reply me in French, you reply me in Italian, because you're actually changing context.
As a user, it's the same thing anyway, right? As a user, they're gonna whatever language they want to use, they're gonna use it. So it's like the writing code. So we are writing code in English. It's not the French or Korean. So I think it's the same sense. But that's general my impression. And the MCP is basically, I would say, extension of function calls. I don't know if anyone is familiar with the function calls, but the OpenAPI or Anthropic or Gemini, they have the SDK, and then they provide a way to use function calling. I think if you go here, AI Studio, we have function call this feature. It's actually exactly the same thing. We define the function name, description, and the parameter, and AI will determine which function. So let's say this is the list here, right? So you give the multiple functions listing here, and then if you ask, let's say, if I asked AI for the weather, then AI will give you back. You may gonna call the get weather function with this parameter. Then your AI application is going to call that function, and then once you have the result, you are going to give back to AI model. So it's exactly the same thing, but the MCP is there, just protocol. So MCP servers are just remote. I mean, it's not in the same application, so they can just plug and play, like someone saying the USB-C, the hub, right? So yeah, basically that's it. And yeah, maybe I can just a little bit teasing what I've been preparing about the FlutterCon.
Don't share too much.
No, I'm not gonna share
Little bit
everything, but
sneaky.
yeah, I just thought this might be useful. This is, I don't know if I can just zoom in. Yeah, I think it's big enough, right? So this is the flow, actually, how the MCP client is working. So here I put the MCP host application, which means your AI application like Cursor, Cloud Desktop, or those kind of things. And here is the connection between MCP client and MCP server. So what it does, MCP client will determine what kind of functions are available. So multiple MCP servers might be connected to MCP client. Then MCP clients know what kind of the functions are available. Then it will just give it to AI model. Then AI model will know. So let's say here, okay, so AI agent is going to give the list of the function to the AI model. Then we are taking the prompt from users. Then when user prompt to the AI model, then AI model will give to the AI application that list of the function and parameter that you need to call. I mean, not user, but the AI application need to call, right? Then the AI application will call to the MCP client and server to get the actual result of the MCP. Then, then AI application will call again ask to the AI model again with the result it got. Then the AI will give you back all the conclude information, more accurate information that AI didn't know. But thanks to the MCP, now AI knows. So user may have the good information, the accurate result, I'll say. Yeah. That's it.
Also, quick question. Like, how did you create this flow, an entire chart you have right now? Because that will be also really good in GitHub. Like visualization, I think makes really, it's getting really important how to show these things work. Right now, I'm just seeing a lot of things doing that. And now this made it so clear for me.
This one, actually, I used the AI to create it.
Oh, like AI, like directly in another app, or just ChatGPT or Gemini?
Any AI to the model, what you can do, I mean, I explain the flow. Okay, I want this flow in the language. And then I asked the AI to give me back in the mermaid format.
Oh, okay. So it's the mermaid here at the trick.
Yes. Yeah. So I copied the mermaid into the mermaid renderer, and then I just copy pasted in here. So
it looked very mermaid-like. It was definitely mermaid-like.
Exactly.
Oh, that's mermaid. I know that flow diagram is mermaid.
Question. After FlutterCon, would you be willing to include that on our website?
I think I could. I don't know if there's any kind of limitation in the FlutterCon, but I don't think they have. But I mean, personally, I don't have any problem to share this.
Okay. Because I think that would be a good resource, especially on in the starter section, to help explain. And we can talk about that more. But when you were when we did the walkthrough, I really found this very insightful.
All right. Yeah. Or we can actually have the dedicated time to talk about more with the more visual stuff later.
Not another topic for another week. Yay!
I mean, we can also, if you show slightly about the features that it has, like the prompting, sampling, a lot of things. So it would be probably, quite a session. And let's see, I'm also wondering the differences between the Google way of doing it and your way of doing it. Of course, the empty package is just there. We know the other one, but right now we have both of them.
Yeah. So for that, actually, maybe you can address a little bit of the between MCP Dart and Dart MCP. Dart MCP is from Google, and MCP Dart is from me. And for now, the difference is that the Google doesn't support the full spec yet. So Google is mostly focusing on the STDIO. And if you also see the protocol version, Google is supporting the version of November last year. So mine is supporting the version of March. Of course, I also need to work on the spec that just released in June. But yeah, so I
you're
think
going pretty updated, we can say.
Yeah, I think for the feature-wise or the spec, the coverage-wise, I think the MCP Dart is a little, more close to the full spec compared to Google's the Dart MCP. But it doesn't mean Google's the MCP is not bad. I mean, it's bad. It's still a decent package. So I don't have any recommended. You have to use mine. You have to use Google's. No.
It has pretty much different cases. And to be honest, what I feel like is even if you just put it to your own AI and add both and ask which one is more suitable for my use, and you would even get an answer about which one to go for. Both are like pretty much, you can right now throw entire documentation and work in it.
Yeah. And the other thing is, honestly, when you create, let's say, MCP server, I think it doesn't really matter because what core logic is actually your functions. Let's say here I showed this example, right? What matter is actually this, right? Not the how initialize the server, how to connect server. I think it doesn't really matter. Whatever the package you use, those kind of things always there. Might be a little different. It is, right? But this logic is going to be just same as your logic. When you switch to mine to the Google, it's going to be exactly the same thing at the end. You're going to have the input schema, same description, same name. So it's going to be super easy to migrate. Even you use mine or Google's one or the other, you can easily migrate. So I don't worry too much on that.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah. Any question we need to cover?
I have not seen any. Let me double check.
Meantime, maybe I can ask you which MCPs that you did connect with this, or which ones like the current, let's say, favorites.
Me, I think definitely Context 7 is the one of main MCP that I'm using mostly. And I think I also use Fetch, but I don't think it's actually necessary because most of the AI tools support Fetch already. Fetch is just fetching the HTML data from somewhere. So let's say there's some kind of document that AI doesn't know about it, but AI knows the URL, then AI can fetch the information from the URL.
Would you like to mention those? Now, I think I put this one of them, the Context 7, and the other one was Fetch.
Context 7, this one is definitely the MCP server that I recommend.
Yeah.
But I have a little bit of impression that it doesn't fully support the Dart-based package APIs properly. But I mean, still good to have it. It's based on the README. So if the package has a good README file with a good example, then Context 7 is working really great. But it doesn't read all the API document. So that's the one thing. So maybe Randal was working on something else for that.
I'm actually about to talk about that. So as soon as you're done, I'll go immediately into that topic.
Yeah. Maybe about context model size. I'm not sure.
So there's if you go to the multi-context protocol website, there's all the example of servers.
Can you zoom in a little more?
Yeah, there's a lot of servers that actually they created, and most of them is generated with AI, by the way. That's how they had a lot of MCP servers. Okay, so maybe I'd better to go this repository. So if you go here, you see all the list of the MCP servers. They are third-party or Anthropic made or a lot of things, right? So all this. So you can try out many things, but my favorite is definitely Context 7 and Fetch. This one. So this one is just fetching the information from the web. Yeah.
Wow.
And and then GitHub MCP for sure. GitHub MCP is kind of essential. And what else?
And the Git one's also good because it can do local diffs and stuff, and
Oh,
get
yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
analysis from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you use specifically? Like, I mean, for sure, commit generating, committing stuff out, and so on. But
Yeah, maybe you can ask for the Git command using this probably. But I don't use this one because the most of time the AI editor already have this capability. So in that case, I don't need to use the MCP servers. And the other thing is it's mostly demo purpose, but I use the Playwright MCP again. Playwright MCP, this one, so that I can, I can ask AI to open up the browser and then go to here and then, write some iterative testing and so on. But I honestly, I don't really use it for my work for Playwright MCP. But this one is like the good example of what MCP can do. That's why I quite often mention Playwright MCP. And yeah, I also tested out Figma MCP. And yeah, that one was not bad too.
Yeah. So in Playwright, like, did you use it to crawl some data from somewhere, or was it to like do a function or work none?
Mostly function. Mostly just. Like I say, I mostly just use for the demo purpose for the Playwright MCP. So my favorite demo is that search the MCP Dart package repo. Then AI will understand that this is the GitHub repository. So it will use the GitHub MCP to search my package. And then I say to open it up in the browser. Then AI will use the Playwright MCP to open it on a browser. Or I can also ask AI to search something. Go to the google.com and then search about MCP Dart, for example. Then it automated those kind of things. Yeah.
You're muted, Ezra.
Oh, I was just mentioning that it's directly using your web browser.
Yeah. And the other thing is that I've been testing out the MCP Grafana. Actually, at my work, I'm doing the DevOps work a lot. So I want to monitor our infrastructure automatically. So instead of going to the Grafana, see the dashboard or query or the tracing logs or metrics, with the MCP Grafana, I can just ask to the AI to automatically find some issues in my infrastructure. Do you see any kind of anomalies based on the log or based on the metrics? Do you see any kind of issue? Or if some kind of the observability alert is happening, then I can copy paste to the AI. Okay, investigate this issue. Then AI will try to look at the log metrics and then scope out where I should look at, or find some kind of potential issues and so on.
Right. I mean, it's already unlocks a lot of stuff, and this is also helping us to use Flutter and Dart even better, considering this AI tooling space and everything going on. Like, thank you so much for doing that work. What do you think about the response from community side? I think we have quite a lot of people already using it. I think in PubDev, we also have that. Do you know? I think we already have people in production. Lots of people are using it.
Yeah, so MCP Dart, if I see this package, I have the 3,000 download. And I also have some dependent packages. I think Chris is actually working on Garantic AI using my MCP. He's been contributing to the repository, and it's been really nice. He added the required field in MCP spec. Yeah, that was nice. And there's more. I mean, the LLM Dart, Open Tools Dart. I don't and agentic. I think this one is another AI wrapper. And PubDev MCP. Is it from Randal?
Randal, is that yours?
Is it? You already have that in there?
I see this one, but I don't know who's the owner.
No, that's somebody else's. That's done without using the API. That's done. Well, it's done with using the API, but just raw. They just use a HTTP call, where I'm using a package to get to there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I already have some people is using my package to create another package, and yeah, one more selling point I could have. I don't have any dependency yet. I'm not using any kind of the library to build this one. It's really raw. So I even use the Dart.io to create all the even HTTP side. But now I have an issue, which is the Dart.io doesn't work on the web. So I'm working on it. And it's not easy to make it work, but yeah, I'm working on it. And probably I need to add the HTTP package into as a dependency for my package. I think.
I mean, I think it's acceptable. You know,
Yeah,
we can add one more. Right? It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, technically with tree shaking everything, I mean, HTTP package can be automatically removed if it's not used in your compile environment. So even I add that package, it's not going to be heavy one anyway.
Compiled.
And everyone is already using HTTP package. So
yeah,
I don't worry too much. But yeah, that's it.
Thank you. I had added a ticker. Since you're sharing your screen, you may not be able to see it. So we have a little ticker going across the bottom. So people are able to see it. So that's been going. Next, I don't see any questions for Jen. If you have them, don't forget to put a Q in front of it. Next, we have Randal.
Cool.
And we're going to be talking about some Roo Code updates.
Yes, I'm trying to find the button that dumps the current system prompt. I can't find it. Jhin, you happen to know where that is in Roo? I know I've seen it. The button where it says dump the current system context for debug.
Oh.
They moved it around, I think. Darn it, they're reconfiguring how preferences work, and so I don't know where it is.
Let me also find it.
Which system modes? Oh, I found it. I found it in mode. Previous system prompt. Okay, I can go ahead and share now. So let me pop up my share. Present, or is that present? Do I get a present when I push that button? What? Present. English as she is spoken. Yes. All right. Let's do a window. This guy. Okay. So this is the text is too small here. Let me make that a little bit bigger. So I'm actually looking at the source code to my tool, but I'll get to that in a second. This is the tool that searches pubdev that I actually built with vibe coding in about 2 hours using Jhin's tool, using Jhin's tool builder, I should say. So this is Roo panel on the right. So Roo's already been installed. Not going to go over that, but did that the past couple of shows actually. So under the prompts one, which is this guy, where we can edit modes. If you scroll down far enough, you get to previous system prompt, and that's what I want to show. Are you seeing my screen? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I want to make sure, because sometimes when I swap screens, it doesn't do the right thing. But if we look at that, we'll see. Oh boy, let's see if I can make this wider. Well, let's see. We can just copy it and put it in a file. Text, foo.text. Actually, foo.md. Okay. So let me, you see it's quite long. So this is what's actually being sent ahead of everything that you type in. And
wow. No wonder people run out of tokens.
Yeah, that's right. So notice where my bar is. My bar is only showing this tiny part of all of this. I can bet the majority of this stuff in the middle is the rules for how to connect to your MCPs, and we'll see that by scrolling down there in a second. Oh no, I'm actually way down at the bottom. That's why. Okay, let's just click somewhere in the middle here. Oh no, it's It's really long, but okay, here's an example I wanted to show. So there I have not enhanced turn script, that's a bad one. I'm looking for a tool this is the I have a bunch of tools. Okay, so here's a tool. So I have a tool, YouTube MCP server, and all it has in when I installed it was install this. And then here's the instructions for how to run it, which we don't care about. That's being handled automatically. But this, again, is what's being told to the LLM because the MCP server said, here is what I know how to do. So it has these tools, search videos, query, max results, order. And here's the scheme of how to send data to it. But you'll see this is all just JSON and plain English. But that's included then as part of your context so that it knows how to call that tool. And when it gets down to there, close this here, it ends up, here's the tool that I built using Dart MCP, and I built it using vibe coding, so I actually don't even know everything that's in here. I don't think I've actually looked at the entire code. But again, it's saying server tool, here's the list of things. So this is the kind of stuff that turns into the description I was just showing. So it's taking all this information and turning this into plain English sentences that make sense out of that. And here's what happens when these callbacks are triggered. So sort order top and things like that. So here's the callback for the query. And just for debugging, I print what it's being called with so I can see what's going on. But all of this code is Dart code that's being triggered by the LLM saying the right thing at the right time. And so that's kind of explaining a little bit more about the relationship between MCP and what's going in your system context. But as you can see, the system context huge, right? Lots and lots of stuff in there. So, oh no, that's not system context, right? That's the MCP Dart file. But that was the first thing I wanted to show. The other thing I wanted to show was the new MCP marketplace.
I have one question.
Go ahead.
How did you make your AI understand MCP Dart? Because MCP Dart is fairly new. So.
I used the tool. I used this tool itself. No, I didn't use this tool itself. I think I used one of the other browser scrapers. Let's see, what do I have for all these tools here? That's going to be in. I was afraid of just pushing random buttons in case it reveals something scary. It's modes. I want modes. No.
You might also want to say the icon, because our FCAIC logo is over the buttons, so people won't be able to tell.
Okay, so I think it's this. Is this got auto prove? No, see, now I'm trying to remember where all these things are.
Looking for MCP servers?
No, I know MCP servers is here. I'm looking for the my input to the system prompt. I'm trying to remember where that is. That's here. No, it's not there. It's not there. So it's not this. That's not what I was looking for. I'm looking for. Well, let's just say I think how I did that.
You're doing system prompt for the mode.
I was looking for the system prompt for the mode. Yeah, where's that? That's in the mode.
You go back to the chat screen. Click the done. Click done, and then at the bottom. There's
that's one
on the left. The left one. Not this one. Yep. This one is the model. Okay, this is original.
Say again. So the what?
There's the mode. There's a code mode on the left one.
Oh, down there is it? Right.
Edit.
Okay.
Yeah.
They got rid of the buttons from up above. I think they're trying to optimize things. But
okay,
here,
so before you go, hold on. Can you hit the done and go back and just explain what was being displayed before you hit the select button?
Okay, so this is sort of the base screen, and
right.
I went down here to where the modes are, and I clicked edit. And
Got it.
that's where it gives information for each of the individual modes. And I have here, I have custom instructions for all modes. That's what I was looking for right there. Because in here, if I can get this more visible, a little bit better. I have, for web access, I can use, I can use fetch if you know the URL, or rag search. Rag search just does a DuckDuckGo on a group of pages and absorbs the contents. So that's what I did for Dart MCP. I said, do a rag search for Dart MCP and pointed it at the specific URLs in that area. And then I also have other tools installed so that I have in my global instructions what priority to use them in, because some of them are expensive and others of them are free. So I have priorities for that. Yeah. So I think that's all I wanted to show with that. But anyway, so that's how I vibe coded this. I first got the context to be able to do this. Now that this is here, I can use what I'm about to show you, which is I can go in here and go look up. This is installed, so I can go ahead and use this tool. Oh, here, describe the MCP called PubDev. Oh, it's searching PubDev. That's not going to help. Oh, hey, it used itself to go figure out itself. That's just really weird. Okay, so this is what it has. It's a tool to find and search packages of PubDev through natural language query. See, so that's what got installed. So then I can say, tell me about the FP Dart package in PubDev. So this is my MCP actually running. And look at that. It's got a nice description, a homepage for it, the repository, dependencies, and so on. And so now when I ask questions about a particular Dart or Dart or Flutter package, this MCP will kick in and give me additional information that's extremely current. It's doing the API call right now. So it has exactly that. Like you can say, list the versions of FP Dart. And because we've already mentioned FP Dart before, it kind of knows that as context. I'm still in the same context. So now, so you get package details. There's the recent version. There's 25 older versions and so on. Isn't that great? That's just so cool, because now I can interact with the live API thanks to MCP for that. And now for the final thing that I actually signed up for today, let's go into the news.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So when it's going to the latest version and doing it directly there, can we also see that like it increased the generated code way much better, because then the hallucination drops drastically, so that you don't end up something like, oh, but this package doesn't have this functionality, because we also had this problem before. It was like sometimes making up some functions.
Yep. So now it's reading the README for FP Dart, which is quite long. And it will. This is all very current, because it's the README that's on there right now. So now it's getting a lot more information and understands a lot better about that. Tell me about either in FP Dart. And look, this is all current and accurate, because it came from the indirection through PubDev. And that's what I like about the fact that we can plug these MCPs in to give these LLMs specific knowledge that's accurate and current. Context 7 does that for most libraries, but as Jhin pointed out, it doesn't do it for stuff that's in the pub. But this does. With this tool plus Context 7, you can pretty much get all of my vibe coding that I wanted to do. I could get one way or the other. So really cool stuff that way. Now, again, sorry, Ed?
But isn't it still, it doesn't read the actual API doc, isn't it? No.
No, there's no search API for that.
Yeah.
But it does figure out from the GitHub that it can search the GitHub for more details. So this is still pretty new. This is still just an idea I had. I vibe coded it in 2 hours. and it's working well enough for me that I haven't finished it. So, and that's why it's not published yet. It's not in PubDev. Sorry, I'll get it in PubDev soon. It makes sense to put something that can search PubDev into PubDev, but I'm not there yet. So anyway,
Oh, I
so
mean, it's super useful already. I mean,
yeah.
I just want you to add one thing, if it's possible, is that maybe if you can read actual API doc, that because Dart API doc is quite good, right, in general. So
Yeah,
if you can make
right.
it read even the documentation, that might be actually really nice. Because I also try similar thing, but it's only reading from the README and then the only in the main page. So if I don't put a lot of information in the README, then probably the AI is still missing a lot of information. But I noticed that when I create example application, example MPP server in my repository, then thanks that the AI tool already know my whole package, right? So it generally create better result because it understand all the code bases. That's what I saw.
Okay.
I mean, that's my impression I had.
And now for the one final thing I was going to show, which is that they've added this new icon up here. Nope, not that one. This one.
Oh, marketplace.
Marketplace. I need labels on everything. It's like I don't do visuals very well. So, but this is what's new recently, and it has this MCP, and this list should look really familiar. This is the list that's exactly what Jhin showed a few minutes ago about the standard MCP servers. Because what the Roo people have done is they've added a marketplace that knows how to install all of those. And I'm going to actually demonstrate installation by taking this time of day one and installing it in the local repo. So I just hit so again, MCP under the marketplace gets you to this place. There's also a modes, which I'm not going to demonstrate much of, but that's so you can actually have modes that get published. If you have a mode is a particular style of interaction, particular collection of system prompts to force it to think a certain way, or to have access to a certain set of tools, or to have access to a certain set of operations that's available to there. So I'm not going to worry about that now. I'm much more worried about the MCP part here. So let's go back to time. There's time. So all I have to do for this is going to ask me a couple questions. Do I want it only for this project, or do I want it globally? I'm just going to make it this project, and I'm going to erase it later. Do a git reset on here. An MCP can often be used directly using a bunch of different Python tools or a bunch of different JavaScript tools. In this case, it's a Python extension of some kind. So it's giving me the option of UVX or pip, or my favorite new one now, because system Pythons just don't work well for me, but they now have the option for many of these of Docker. And what that does is it actually uses the new Docker run operation. If you have a modern day desktop Docker, to run your MCP server entirely in a sandbox, which is really appropriate for this stuff because you don't want it leaking out. You don't want a rogue MCP server to have access to all of your disk. That would be bad. Something went wrong or maliciously went wrong. But here, so I'll just hit this install, and it says successfully installed. Now it added in this project this MCP JSON file, which is a local then under .roo. It's local then only to this project. Only when I'm editing this project will this MCP server be available. And notice it's a Docker run command. This is the information that Roo needs to see as an MCP client to figure out how to talk to these MCP servers, in this case, the Docker run of MCP time. And now, if I come down here to my MCP tab again, actually it offered me to do that, but I'm doing it manual anyway. You'll notice that time is there. And if you flip open here, you'll see it gives two commands. It gives current time and time zone. Okay, so that's kind of cool. And we can now say, what time is it in Berlin? And it will say, okay, give me the time zone. You're at Berlin. Approve. Oh, approve. Why is it approve? Oh, because it's brand new. No tools are permitted in it. It's not allowed to use. So what I want to do is automatically use. So yeah, where's auto use? It's always allow. There we go. Boom. And notice it updated the file there to say, yes, I can always use get current time. So the current time in Berlin is 1933. Does it sound about right?
Yeah.
Cool. And the entire it of Berlin is currently observing daylight saving time. Cool. All right. But so now when I ask for a current time, what time is it in city? Failed sending request. Oh, that's not good. Demo. It's a demo. That's how demos are supposed to fail. Always.
And it's live.
There we go.
And recorded.
Yes. Yeah, there. See, but it got it. American New York, 1333, right? Currently observing DST. So this functionality wasn't in there right up to the moment that I installed this. So this is adding new capability to my LLM. So if my LLM is curious about what day of the week is it, or what time of day is it in Zimbabwe, it can figure it out as part of the query. So that's where these MCP servers come in, and it's really nice that you have this list in the marketplace where you can, there's Context 7, there's File System, bunch of them, really great one, Git tools. And I have the GitHub one in here somewhere. Some of these will ask for API keys because, for example, for Google Drive, it needs to have the authorization key to be able to open my Google Drive and go through it. So when you do the install here, it'll ask you for those kinds of things. Actually, I could try it and see how far it gets. Yeah, here's Google Drive credentials path. So I have to go get that fixed before I can invoke this. And again, this is also, see, so Docker's here too. So you could have all these installed properly. In fact, if that ran in a Docker, that'd be interesting because it's getting to the Google Drive, not through your normal Google Drive mount on your main system, but getting to it through the API for Google Drive. So makes it entirely separate and controlled in terms of what its access is. Alrighty, any questions?
Like, how would you like to use the Google Drive part? Like, sometimes I'm having the idea of, I also see some folks who were already using packages to generate their presentations using Flutter. Maybe you're familiar with that. We also have, do you think you would just combine all of them here with Drive, with some assets, with some code base, with having your diagrams and something?
Yeah, well, I mean, it can do that. That's the point. I mean, everything that they're claiming can be done in the sort of AI agentic, world views that somehow have an editor buried inside it. This is the same thing, just inside out. So I'm in an editor running Roo Code, which is giving me agentic capabilities with all the same MCPs, with all the same chains of thought, with all the same access to all the same models, but it's all being done from within my editor, which gives me a more comfortable way to do that. The only downside is that this is all synchronous in the sense that I'm triggering all these actions. There's no scheduled activity in VS Code. So there's no chance for me to do the sort of like every day at 4 p.m. go get something. So that's the only thing I'm missing here. So I'm still looking at other good solutions for things that I can keep alive 24 hours a day that don't cost me an arm and a leg to run stuff. All of them seem very expensive. But we could have that sort of asynchronous, time-based behavior triggered by activity in the world rather than me triggering things. But for all the stuff I got to trigger, this is working really well for me to just keep plugging stuff in and doing my vibe coding and asking questions of it or summarizing other people's code bases. That's always kind of fun. Like you come here and you can say, let's start a new task here. So get that cleaned out. This file for good, bad, and ugly. My favorite prompt for text review. Okay, it's reading that file. Here we're getting data. Oh, it's got bad. Oh, that's not good. Ugly. Oh no, you wrote this code. Don't be pointing this at me. This is you. This is all on you. It's like
AI do not remember anything.
Inconsistent commenting style. Hard-coded 7 names.
this is AI being mad at AI. Oh, good use of complete future. That's nice. Good. All right. Anyway,
Overly broad catch blocks. It's like,
I should teach the AI my course that I'm giving Wednesday. Yeah. Wow. Anyway. Okay. That's what it is. You can use it to orchestrate lots of stuff, but it's all synchronous. So it's like I'm driving whatever task it is I'm trying to get done. And the only difference between this and some of those other platforms is that they can typically have asynchronous tasks, which make it useful even for yeah. So yeah, I think
Have you tried N8N?
Well, that costs money. That's what I'm looking at. I'm trying to do like N8N, but without the I'm trying to get anything.
Yeah, if you just install in the local machine, you can use it for free actually.
There was still some limitations there that were a little weird, but I'm looking at that. I'm also looking at doing it with GenKit stuff, which will be roughly the same thing, and I can run cron jobs easy enough from my laptop. I just need to figure out when, or I can push them in the cloud or whatever. I'm learning. But
I don't know
anyway,
if Jules have the cron capability. Maybe you can have a look.
Yeah, I'll take a look. Anyway, boy, I tell you, I didn't expect this much bad stuff coming out of its own text that it wrote. That is just manual string concatenation.
Randall will be like, oh, yeah, fix it then. Like,
fix this. Yeah.
So I'm really curious if you had in your prompt had said write good code or great code. Avoid the ugly and good, bad, and ugly. Would you still be getting that? And it seems kind of crazy that you would have to ask it that. It's hilarious. I'm sorry. I'm just laughing that it's got so much ugly in its own code. It's just
I know. The thing is, I think I wrote this using Flash rather than Pro because I was in a hurry. I was trying to do vibe coding. And I think the problem is I should have had one more round of, and let's fix this code up so it's better. And that probably would have solved that a bit. So now I'm curious. I won't do this live on the show, but I think I'm gonna go afterwards, go fix and see what it actually does to mangle it. I've got a git commit already, right? Okay, good. Yeah. So it doesn't matter.
It actually also writes to good code. It would be like it is also sometimes being an overkill. Like sometimes it's just like too detailed than you expect. I actually really like that it just gives me the solution, like exactly what I prompt, and I can just like over engineer on it if I need it. But it's also good so that another person or your junior is not coming with a like huge everything solver all the time.
Yeah.
And were some of the uglies the too much comments? Is that what it had?
Inconsistent.
Inconsistent. Okay. Because I'm one that comments, and just because I want to be able to, and I'm sure it doesn't like the way I format stuff, but given my dyslexia and how I have to format stuff, so I can skim through stuff faster.
Well, here, is functional and handles errors reasonably well. There we go. So I do get some brownie points back at the end, but the bad and the ugly are mostly about improving robustness, maintainability, and adherence to common Dart test practices for larger applications. Oh yeah, I had to start it, write a test, and I had trouble mocking the API call to the library that I'm using. And it was trying to build it out, and because the thing is, the API, the library that I'm calling it's just really simple. You pass everything in as queries, and it just does the query. So it's very monolithic and hard to mock. And so was thinking that I want to write just live tests instead, because it'd be simpler than a mock test. So, but that'll be.
So there is
soon.
a comment. I'd like your thoughts on this. So we have, you still need refactoring with AI.
Yes, you can refactor with AI.
Wait.
Yeah, oh yeah. AI will write whatever sort of at the tail end of the auto completion, right? It's just autocomplete, right? So it's going to write what it does, and if there's some nuances, you either need to say that up front and put as part of the context, or say it at the end to kind of take what you've got and now merge it around or move things around. Yeah, but it can understand those as meta operations as well, because it's seen plenty of examples of those in its training data.
Yeah, usually it takes more time to refactoring than writing code from scratch. But
like human beings, humans do that. Same problem.
But what I noticed that when I want to build something with the vibe coding, it takes most likely. I mean, I'm not making crazy big application, but it takes more likely, 1 hour, 2 hours, I can have the good application. But the refactoring take few days.
Yeah.
Is that still being visible here? I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, it's still visible. All right. So this is the this is just to show I'm not covering everything that changed in Roo Code and why I'm still excited at their progress. Here's a release on the 23rd. That's today. Here's a release 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, 7 days ago, 8 days ago, and you can see all the things that they're putting in. It's just it's amazing that this is still best of breed, I think, in this area in terms of a VS Code plugin that will make things go fancier. I think this is still
I really want them to do an IntelliJ plugin.
Yeah, let them get this one right first. That would help. I know the text is too small to read on the screen, but they're just this is straight out of their repo. So there's been quite a bit of stuff done. I mean, this is still back. This is still June. I'm still
I get the alerts because I'm on their Discord, and the alerts of when there've been the announcements of releases and things like that. So they're definitely actively working on it. It's not like something that's, oh, here, it's out here and we're slowly doing things. There's often something within a day.
Yep. They didn't credit me for reporting an issue that they fixed. That's not, I'm not going to say have a thanks in it. Thanks, Randall, for letting us know we screwed
Oh my
up.
gosh, Randall.
They didn't do that. They didn't do that. I'm disappointed. Anyway. All right. I think that's done for my segment there.
Okay. So we don't have any questions for our Q&A section.
Cool.
If you've got something, get it out there, get it up there really quick. Make sure to put a Q in front of it. We are wrapping up. We're doing really good on time.
Yeah.
So, we blocked 2 hours. Sometimes we go a little longer. This week, we're actually doing really good.
I got plenty to do today. I'm still preparing to get flying to New York.
Exactly. So it's also good. You guys that are going to FlutterCon USA are may need to do some more prepping. And I'm looking at the wrong thing that I wanted to put up. So make sure and watch for changes. We'll give announcements and things like that. I'm looking for something I wanted to show. Our website, which is up. There's still things evolving, but at least it's there. Make sure that you fill out the surveys. And let me see. I'm going to pop this up over our faces. Oops, I forgot to bring down the banner. Make sure you go and do the community survey, contributor survey, so that we get your feedback information. We also have, here's our social medias where you can find us.
And of course, you can always turn on the notifications to get the live stream.
Yes. Oh, yes,
all of
yes,
these.
yes. Like, subscribe, comment, do all that. Make sure you get those in there.
Check out our Wednesday show if you're into
Hump Day Q&A on Wednesday. We do have our we have the playlist on YouTube for our and Norbert's coding. So anxious to hear. I'm not able to go to FlutterCon, and so I'm waiting for the live streams to be available. So it's going to be awesome. You guys have
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, great time. And I don't think any more comments came in, so I think it's a wrap. Yeah. And we're gonna hear some music as we go out. Oh, get our dashes with
There's no music yet, though.
No music yet. Yes, I know. I haven't gotten down there yet. I've got to figure out which one we want. Let's do the dance pop. Or here, what's lo-fi? Let's see. No. Okay, here we go. We're not going to do a countdown. I'm going to hit the wrong thing. Okay.